Moi! This is a quick introduction to a unique feature in the Finnish language that causes a lot of trouble for learners, and understandably so: the mutation of words depending on their context. The Finnish language doesn't have a lot of conjunction words such as to, from, in, and the like. Rather, the words themselves change. Sometimes suffixes are just added to the base word, like in the case of talo, the word for house, but sometimes the base word also changes, like in the case of koti, the word for home, or vesi, the word for water, or all object words that end in an s, such as lammas, hammas, or taivas. I'll show a few of them later. Translation between English, Spanish, German and Swedish are all somewhat easy because they have conjunction words and by and large the same word structure with each other and the word order as well. But if you try to translate those languages from or to the Finnish language with only using Google Translate, the results don't always make sense. Finnish is not related to those aforementioned languages. They belong to the Indo-European language family, whereas Finnish belongs to the Uralic language family. And in the past, some people considered Finnish to be an Asian language, since the Uralic languages originate from the Ural Mountains on the border of Europe and Asia, and some Uralic languages are still in the far north of Siberia, spoken by ethnically Asian people. But anyway, here we have some examples of these word mutations and suffixes. First, we have talo, the word for house. This word does not mutate, it stays the same, only the conjunctions, the suffixes are added to it. And as you see, the word for house, talo, in or in a house or in the house, it doesn't matter, they're the same word, is talossa. In houses, taloissa. In houses, taloissako. My house, minun taloni, your house, sinun taloni. As you can see, the word minun and sinun are optional because the letter at the end, the letters at the end of the word, they already give away, whose house is it, so you can say them, but you don't have to. From a house, talosta. Without a house, talotta. With his houses, taloineen, or with her houses, same thing, because there are no genders. And if you want to be fancy, you can say talojensa kanssa. Kanssa is the Finnish word for with. It is actually quite commonly used. And then also in my houses is taloissani kinko. I used the color coding here so you can see which part is which word. Then we have koti, the word for home. This is a word that does mutate. So, home, koti, homes, kodit, homes as in possessive, kodin, at home, kotona, in home, kodissa, with his homes or her house, koteineneen, with my homes, koteineni. I use the color coding once again, and in this word you can say the base word actually changes. The T turns into a D in these first three examples, and some other letters change as well, depending on the context. Then we have the object words that end with an S, for example, kangas, meaning a cloth. The plural, kankaat, a little bit of cloth, kangasta, a little bit of cloths, kankaita, and then not to be confused with clothes, the things you wear, they are vaatteet, and a little bit of clothes, vaatteita. This feature doesn't actually exist in English, so you can't really directly translate it, but anyway, then a sheep, a singular sheep, lammas, the plural, lampaat. As you can see, one of the M's turns into a P and an extra A is added. Water, vesi, a little bit of water, vettä. The S turns into a T, and waters, as in plural, vedet. The S turns into a D, and the I turns into an E. The sky, taivas. From the sky, taivaalta. Another example. And then, you also have the word for one, yksi, and ones, as in the possessive, yhden. Another mutation right there. Mutation in action words is nothing new to English speakers, and the same thing happens in the Finnish language as well, in some words more than others, and action words in Finnish have a feature that doesn't exist in English. For example, to buy, ostaa, the neutral term. He, she bought, hän osti, I bought, minä ostin, or just simply ostin. You bought, ostit. So this word kind of stays the same, although in English it does mutate. But then there is another example. To create, luoda. This is the neutral term. Then he created, hän loi. I created, minä loin. You created, sinä loit. So this is a word that actually mutates quite a bit. And in the first example, you can once again see that you don't have to say the I or the you because the letters at the end of the word give away who did the action. You can say them, but you don't have to. So how can you tell which words are mutating and which ones are not? Well, you can't. You just learn it with experience. But I can tell you that object words that end in the letter I will almost always mutate in some way. I could give you examples all day, but I think you get the idea.